Hello, my name is Jeroen Groenendijk and I'm product specialist at Pioneer DJ, and today I'm going to tell you all about our brand new CDJ-2000NXS2. The first thing you notice is that the USB input is now illuminated and it reflects the color that you have set up in your record box to show up. You can set up a color for each USB device that you have, so you can make different kind of music a different color. Other than the USB input, there is also a redesign of the SD input. The hot cue section now has 4 buttons on 2 banks, so there's 8 hot cues per track. With the hot cue banks you can make 8 hot cues on 8 different tracks, and a hot cue can be either a cue or a loop, so you have a lot of opportunities. You have the 4 hot cues, you have the 2 buttons to select the bank, and the hot cues are automatically in record mode, so there's no record button anymore. In the loop section you will see that the loop mode button now has moved to the touchscreen. On the place where the loop mode button used to be is now a button to easily create a 4-beat, or when you keep it pressed, a 8-beat loop. One of the other hardware designs is that next to the rotary, the back and tag track button have been redesigned, and also there's 2 new buttons. There's shortcut and there's a track filter, so you can easily filter the selected list on your screen. Some of the other hardware changes are that there's now a metal plate on the top surface, so you will have a cold feeling, and it's also not as glossy as it used to be. One of the things that you will notice is that the CDJ is capable of playing FLAC and ALAC music files, which are especially ALAC, which is Apple's lossless audio codec. It's the high resolution audio format of Apple. The reverse lever has also been redesigned. It still has his hold feature, but now also has a flash feature. Also, the jog wheel has had a little bit of a redesign, so it feels more natural now. But the only way to get that feeling over to you is for you to go to the shop and find out. One of the first things you will notice is that we now use a different font. It's more condensed, so there's more letters on each row, and there's also 2 more rows, so you have a lot more information on the screen. When we look at the screen, there's a lot of stuff happening. On the top you will see a new phase meter. The phase meter gives you the step in each bar, and now you also see a mini version of the beat grid scrolling by, so it's easier to match 2 tracks with each other. The waveform has also had a little bit of a redesign. It's got a little bit of an eye candy glow around it, and one of the most important thing is that it now uses the whole width of the screen. We used to have a needle search strip below the display on the CDJ-2000. It's a touchscreen display, so you can use the touchscreen to move around in the track. In the bottom section of the screen you will see the waveform as it used to be also in blue, but now you also have the opportunity to have an Rgb waveform, so you have the same look as you have in the current version of Recordbox, but now also on screen in your CDJ. This gives you an easy representation of the beats and the breaks in a track, so the color identifies it. The needle search strip has been removed. There used to be a strip below the display. Now the whole screen is touchscreen, so you can use the touchscreen to work with the needle search. The touchscreen of the bottom waveform is not only for your needle search functionality, there's also something new, and that's called needle countdown. It gives you the opportunity to place a marker somewhere in the track, and the top of the display gives you a countdown in bars or beats or whatever how you set it up. Normally when you would touch the needle strip and the track was playing, you get the notification that the needle search is locked because the player is in use. Now when you touch the waveform at the bottom of the screen, it drops that marker. And here on the top of the screen you will see the countdown in bars up to that point. So that gives you an easy indication of where your next mix point is, or when the next a cappella is coming, or when the next break is coming. As I said before, there are now 4 hot cue buttons on the left side of the deck. Below that are 2 bank buttons, so you can switch the bank. So in total you have 8 hot cues for each track. By default the buttons are in record mode, so when not illuminated it's recording as soon as you press it. If you have quantize selected, all your hot cues will be snapped to the beat grid. To recall the hot cues you can simply just once pressing the middle button below it and they start blinking. It's now ready to be armed. You just simply press any of the hot cues and now it will load and arm the hot cue ready for use. if you want to load the other hot cues as well, you also have to press them. If we activate the second bank of hot cues, you will see the flashing again, because you also need to arm the other 4 hot cues. What you also notice is that the colors is a bit different. It used to be green for a cue point and yellow for a loop, but now you have the option to make a color of your own choosing. When arming the hot cues, you don't need to wait before one is loaded. You can simply just press them in sequence and let the CDJ load all hot cues. The reverse lever. It still has the functionality as you would expect it, so it holds reverse and then it goes back and forward motion again. But you can also push it forward and then it's just a flash reverse. While it's flashing, it also activates a slip mode, so you have a reverse and slip mode activated by just one move. The loop section also has a bit of a change, but it still works as normal, so you can press loop in, you can press loop out, then you got your loop, and on the screen you will see your loop mode. The loop mode gives you a visual representation of numbers from 1/4 up to 16 or 32 beats, and by pressing one of those figures you get a loop of that desired length. There used to be a button below the loop in button, and that was the loop mode. It's now moved up to the touchscreen, so you can press it in the left top corner of the display, and there's your row with buttons. The button below the loop in is now a button to give you an instant 4-beat or 8-beat loop if kept pressed. So when pressing once, you get a 4-beat loop. Each time when you press that button again, you will activate the loop cutter, and the loop cutter halvens the length of the loop when pressed. The slip mode has not been changed. It's still there. The slip mode, once activated, it will keep the track running in the background if you do any DJ tricks on the foreground. So people listen to what you're doing, and as soon as you release the deck, it will continue playing just like nothing happened before. One of the things that you will notice is that the hot cue buttons now are illuminated in blue. There's a little bit of a change in functionality of the hot cue at this moment, because once the slip functionality is activated, you can hold a hot cue, it will play the hot cue for 4 beats and then returns back to the track playing in the background. Below the rotary, next to the display, you have 2 new buttons. One of those buttons is the shortcut button. The shortcut menu has a few settings, so you have the option to change the phase meter to the new one. You can say hot cues are auto-loaded on, off, or they follow your record box setting. And one of the big things is, I think, is that the quantize is now adjustable. So you can adjust the snap points of the quantize. So it's not only on a whole beat, but you can also set it to half a beat, a quarter beat, or 1/8 beat. On the right side of the display, you will see track, playlist, and search. These are the most commonly used browse positions within the CDJ. So by simply pressing track, you directly go to your track listing. When you use the back button, you will see actually where the shortcut leads to. Another one is the playlist, which directly goes to your playlist section on the CDJ. The last section you will see on the screen is the search, and it directly goes to the search section on the CDJ. And now you will see the full power of a touchscreen. You have QWERTY keyboard on screen, so you can easily enter your search query and the CDJ will pop up all tracks that have the search query in any of the ID3 tags. And this is also why keeping all your track information complete in Rekordbox is very important, because if you enter any text in any of the ID3 tags, the search will find it. If the text is not present in any of the ID3 tags, the search will not find it. The track filter is an adjustable filter where you can give your own preferences, and by simply hitting the button just once, it applies the filter to the current listing that you're looking at on your CDJ. By keeping the button pressed, you will see a menu, and this menu gives you the whole filter, and you can set it up just the way you want it. There's also 128 BPM showing in the display and 4%. So by applying this filter, you will see all the tracks in the current listing that are 128 BPM plus or minus 4%. You can add criteria as much as you like. So you could add a key, you could add a rating or a color, whatever you're using to separate the different categories of track that you might have. Below the criteria, you will also see a button showing My Tag. The My Tag is very powerful because it enables the DJ to put his own markers on certain tracks. In the My Tag you will see the criteria that you need to set up in your Rekordbox. Without using Rekordbox, a lot of these features will not help you a lot. What you see here is like a matrix. So I can set up criteria to show me energy level, high and mid, and for location, main floor. So that's it. This is the CDJ-2000NXS2. It will be in stores very soon. Keep an eye on this page. That's where you will find all the information. And if you like this video, give me a dab on that like button and show your support for the channel.